Kai had lived all his life in the small town of Eldon Creek. The streets were quiet, people were familiar, and nothing extraordinary ever happened. Every morning he walked past the same bakery, the same park, and the same river that curved gently through the town. Life was simple, predictable, and safe. Yet, Kai often felt a pull inside him, a longing for something more. He could not explain it, but he knew there was a vast world waiting beyond the sky. When Kai was a boy, he had seen her for the first time. He had stumbled into a clearing in the woods while exploring and found a ship unlike anything he had ever imagined. It shimmered with colors that seemed alive, moving and twisting like a liquid rainbow. And from it stepped the alien queen. She was enormous, her form elegant and radiant. Her eyes were deep pools of light that seemed to see into Kai's soul. She spoke to him in a voice that was both soft and powerful, telling him stories of distant worlds, stars that sang, and cities floating among the clouds of alien planets. He had been terrified, yet mesmerized, but just as suddenly as she appeared, she vanished. The ship dissolved into the night sky, leaving only silence and memories. Kai told no one about what he had seen. People would have laughed, called him a child with an overactive imagination. Even Kai wondered if it had been a dream. Yet, he carried that memory with him every day, feeling as if the universe had touched him in a way no one else could understand. Years passed. Kai grew taller, stronger, and more thoughtful. He worked in a small workshop, fixing machines and helping his neighbors with simple repairs. Life on Earth was slow, and yet it had its own beauty. He watched the sun rise over the hills, listened to the river flow, and sometimes, when the night was clear, he looked up at the stars and remembered the alien queen. Sometimes, he whispered to himself, wondering if she was still out there among the stars. One evening, as Kai worked on a small engine in his workshop, the sky suddenly lit up with a brilliant light. It was not the soft glow of the setting sun. It was brighter than anything he had ever seen. Kai dropped his tools and ran outside, shielding his eyes from the intense radiance. The townspeople came out of their homes, pointing and murmuring in confusion. The light swirled above Eldon Creek, forming shapes that no one could understand. And then, she appeared. The alien queen descended from the sky, her ship moving gracefully as if it were part of the wind itself. Kai could not believe his eyes. She looked just as he remembered, more magnificent than ever. Her skin glowed faintly, reflecting the light of the stars. Her wings, or whatever they were, extended behind her like flowing ribbons of energy. She floated above the town square, her eyes finding Kai immediately. A smile, gentle and knowing, crossed her face. "Kai," she said. Her voice clear to every ear, yet somehow only he could hear the meaning of it fully. "I missed you, human. Let us go home." The words sent shivers down his spine. His heart raced. He could not speak. The world he knew felt suddenly small, fragile, and unimportant. The universe stretched out before him, full of wonder, danger, and adventure, and she was offering him a place in it. People stared at the sky, some in fear, some in awe. The mayor tried to call the authorities, but the signal of every phone and radio in town seemed to disappear in the presence of the Queen's ship. It was as if the world itself paused, giving Kai a moment he could never have imagined. Kai stepped forward, unable to resist the pull. He had dreamed of this moment for decades, without even knowing it. Yet a voice inside him whispered caution. Leaving meant abandoning everything familiar, everyone he loved, everything that made him feel safe. But the thought of staying, of returning to ordinary life, now seemed empty, meaningless. The alien queen extended her hand toward him. Her energy pulsed gently, not threatening, but inviting. Kai felt warmth spread through his chest, a feeling that combined courage and fear, excitement and longing. She waited patiently, as if she understood his hesitation. Kai's mind raced. He remembered his childhood fears, the loneliness he sometimes felt, the quiet evenings spent staring at the stars. She had once told him that humans had something rare in the universe, something that even the most advanced civilizations struggled to understand. Humanity could dream, hope, and make choices guided not only by logic, but by heart. She had seen it in him, and now she had returned to remind him. He took a deep breath and looked around. The people of Elden Creek stared at him, eyes wide with confusion and fear. He could not explain. How could he? No one would believe that a being from another world had returned for him. He was not ready to leave them behind completely. Yet the call of the stars, the promise of a universe waiting to be explored, was too strong. Kai made his choice. He stepped closer to the alien queen, feeling the vibration of her energy in his very bones. When his hand touched hers, a shock of warmth and light surged through him. He felt his body lifted, as if gravity itself had lost its hold. The town below him shrank into a patchwork of colors and shapes. The sky above stretched infinitely, stars blazing brighter than he had ever seen. The ship moved, carrying him upward, and Kai felt a mix of exhilaration and fear. He had left his world behind, but he was not alone. She guided him with patience, her voice calm and reassuring. "You are brave, Kai," she said. "Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to move forward even when fear exists. Humanity gave you courage, and now the universe will teach you strength." As the ship passed through the upper atmosphere, the clouds below parted like a curtain revealing a new world. Kai could see the curvature of Earth, oceans shimmering under the sunlight, continents stretching in ways he had never truly appreciated. He realized that leaving did not mean forgetting. He could carry Earth with him, in memory, in heart. In the lessons he had learned, the alien queen showed him the stars, pointing out constellations that did not exist on Earth, planets that glowed with life, and nebulae swirling in impossible colors. Kai felt his mind expand. He had never realized the universe was this alive, this beautiful, this vast. Each planet seemed to have its own personality, its own stories waiting to be discovered. "You will learn many things, Kai," the queen said. "You will see civilizations that defy imagination. You will meet beings who think and feel in ways humans cannot comprehend. But always remember, your humanity is a gift. Your choices, your heart, your courage, these are what will guide you." Kai nodded, though he could barely speak. Words felt inadequate. He only hoped he could rise to the challenge, that he could live up to the trust she had placed in him. The ship accelerated beyond the speed of light, and time seemed to stretch and bend around them. Kai clung to the alien queen's hand, feeling both terrified and exhilarated. The journey through the stars was not just travel, it was transformation. He was leaving behind a world of comfort and safety to embrace something unknown, something magnificent. As they moved deeper into space, Kai felt a strange sense of belonging. He was a human, small and fragile compared to the vastness around him, yet he mattered. The queen had chosen him, waited for him, and now he was part of a story that stretched across galaxies. For the first time, Kai understood that life was more than survival. It was about courage, wonder, and connection. And so, the ordinary boy from Elden Creek became a traveler among the stars. He had left home, yet he carried it within him. He had found a guide, a mentor, and a friend in the alien queen. Together, they were about to face the wonders and dangers of the universe. And Kai knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Kai looked at the stars, feeling a thrill he had never known. Adventure awaited, and he was ready. He had chosen the unknown over comfort, courage over fear, and humanity over doubt. The universe was vast, but he was no longer small. With the alien queen by his side, he would discover that even one human could leave a mark across the stars. Kai's heart was still racing as the alien queen guided their ship beyond the solar system. Stars stretched into streaks of light, and planets of unimaginable colors floated around them. Kai could hardly believe he was no longer on Earth. Every instinct in his body told him to feel fear. But another feeling, stronger than fear, filled him. It was wonder. It was excitement. It was the sense that the universe had opened its arms just for him. The queen's voice broke the silence, calm and melodic. "Kai, you must understand. The journey ahead is not only of beauty, it will test your courage, your mind, and your heart. You will see civilizations thrive, and you will see danger beyond imagination. The universe has many lessons, and you must be ready. Kai nodded, swallowing hard. He realized that leaving Earth behind had not freed him from responsibility. The universe would not wait for him. He would need to adapt, learn, and grow if he wanted to survive. Yet, he also felt pride. Humanity had given him the strength to make a choice. To step forward even when everything familiar tried to pull him back, as the ship moved past a ringed planet. Kai looked down and saw creatures unlike any he had imagined. They were tall, with bodies that shimmered like liquid metal. They moved with grace and intelligence, communicating through waves of light that pulsed along their forms. The queen explained that these beings were called the Loreni, a peaceful civilization known for their wisdom and art. They live in harmony, the queen said. Their greatest strength is cooperation. Your species, human, shares something similar. You have the ability to unite, even in small numbers, to achieve things that seem impossible. Kai was amazed. He had never thought of humanity as powerful. On Earth, humans struggled with petty conflicts, politics, and small disagreements. Yet, here he saw the potential of his species reflected in the stars. He understood that courage and kindness were not small traits. They were powerful forces that could shape worlds. The queen paused and looked at him, her eyes glowing faintly. Kai, I offer you a choice. You may return to Earth, keeping the memory of the universe alive in your heart. Or you may continue with me and explore the stars. The decision is yours alone. Kai's mind raced. Returning to Earth meant safety, family, and everything familiar. He could live a long life without danger, without fear. Yet he felt a pull stronger than anything he had ever felt. The universe called him, not with promises of glory or power, but with lessons, experiences, and the chance to grow beyond the limits of his species. He thought about his childhood. He remembered the first time he saw the alien queen. She had chosen him then, recognizing something in him that even he did not understand. Now she had returned. He realized that fear had once held him back. This time, he would not hesitate. I will stay, he said finally, his voice steady. I want to learn. I want to see what humanity can do in the universe. The queen smiled, a gesture that seemed to light the ship from within. Then we begin, Kai. Humanity has given you courage, but the universe will teach you strength and wisdom. Remember this. Your choices, guided by your heart, will make you more powerful than you realize. The first planet they visited was unlike anything Kai had ever imagined. It was a world of floating cities, suspended in a sky of golden clouds. Rivers of glowing liquid flowed between the towers, and creatures with wings of light glided gracefully through the air. The queen explained that this planet was called Eloria, and it was home to scholars and inventors who had mastered both technology and harmony with nature. Kai's eyes widened as he walked through the city. Machines moved without visible energy, powered by the intelligent flow of the planet itself. Plants grew in precise patterns, creating both beauty and function. Beings of various shapes and forms welcomed him, bowing slightly as the queen introduced him as a friend of the stars. Your species has something unique, one of the scholars said. You are small, fragile, yet capable of determination that can rival the greatest civilizations. We have studied humans for centuries. You may underestimate yourselves, but your spirit is remarkable. Kai felt a surge of pride. He realized that humanity's greatest strength was not physical power or advanced technology. It was heart, mind, and the ability to make choices that reflected morality and courage. On Earth, humans struggled, but here, the species was respected for what it could represent in the universe. The alien queen guided him to a chamber, filled with artifacts from countless worlds. Machines that sang, stones that held entire ecosystems, and paintings that moved as if alive surrounded them. Kai was amazed. Each artifact told a story of intelligence, creativity, and survival. He realized that the universe was full of lessons waiting to be understood. You will learn faster than you imagine, the queen said. Humanity gave you curiosity. The universe will give you knowledge. Together, you can achieve things that no single species can accomplish alone. Kai nodded, absorbing every word. He felt a sense of responsibility settle on his shoulders. The universe was vast and he was small, yet the same qualities that made humans seem ordinary on Earth gave him power here. Courage, hope, choice were not small traits. They were forces that could change worlds. Their next destination was a planet under threat. A dark, swirling storm covered half the surface, and creatures struggled to survive in the chaos. The Queen explained that a rival species, driven by envy and hunger for power, had caused destruction in this region. Kai could see the fear in the eyes of the local beings, yet the Queen's presence brought calm. "You must understand, Kai," she said. "The universe is not only beauty, it has danger. It tests those who are brave enough to face it. But even in danger, the heart of a human can shine brightly. Your courage will inspire others." Kai felt a shiver run down his spine. He had never thought of himself as brave. Yet here, in the presence of beings fighting for survival, he understood that bravery was not the absence of fear. It was the choice to act despite it. The alien queen allowed him to make his first decision. They could intervene and help the planet, or observe and learn without interference. Kai's mind raced. He thought of humanity, of the way humans had survived wars, disasters, and challenges by working together and using their intelligence. He realized that he could not stay passive. "We will help them," he said finally. The Queen nodded, a smile of approval in her glowing eyes. Together, they guided the planet's inhabitants to safety, sharing knowledge that allowed them to repair their homes and protect their resources. Kai worked alongside beings he could barely understand, using logic, intuition, and courage to guide decisions. By the time the storm passed, Kai felt a sense of accomplishment he had never known on Earth. The Queen looked at him, her expression full of pride. "You have begun to understand, Kai. Humanity's true strength is its heart and its mind. Even here, far from your home, it can shine brighter than the stars." As the ship left the planet, Kai looked back and saw the grateful faces of the beings they had helped. He realized that leaving Earth did not mean leaving humanity behind. Every choice he made carried the lessons of his species, the courage of ordinary humans, who had never left their world but had acted with kindness and bravery. Kai's journey was only beginning, yet he already felt that he was becoming more than he had ever imagined. The universe was vast, full of wonder and danger, but he was not afraid. Humanity had given him courage, and the Queen had shown him a path to greatness. Together, they would explore, learn, and face the challenges of the cosmos. As stars streaked past the ship, Kai understood something important. Home was not a single place. Home was where the heart and mind could grow, where courage and choice could shape destiny. Earth would always be home in memory, but the universe offered a home beyond imagination. The Queen looked at him with glowing eyes and spoke softly. "Kai, the universe will teach you lessons that no human has ever known. You will see civilizations rise and fall. You will face dangers that seem impossible. But always remember who you are. Your humanity is your greatest strength." Kai nodded, feeling a mix of pride and determination. He realized that he had chosen not only adventure, but responsibility. The universe had given him a chance to grow, and he would not waste it. He would prove that humanity, though small and fragile, could leave a mark among the stars. The alien queen guided the ship onward, toward the next world, and Kai's heart soared. He was no longer a boy from Elden Creek. He was a human among the stars, a traveler and learner ready to face the wonders and dangers of the cosmos. Every choice he made would matter. Every lesson he learned would shape not only him, but the legacy of his species. Kai looked out at the stars, feeling wonder and determination. The journey was just beginning, and he knew he would never look at the universe the same way again. Humanity had given him courage, and now he would discover what it truly meant to be powerful in a universe that stretched beyond imagination. Kai had grown more confident since leaving Earth. The first visits to distant civilizations had shown him the strength of humanity in ways he had never imagined. Yet the universe was vast and unpredictable, and he soon realized that every new world brought lessons, could not have learned on his own planet. The alien queen guided their ship to a star system that seemed to pulse with life. Its 3 suns shone in different colors, bathing the planets in golden, violet, and green light. Kai watched in awe as the ship approached the first world. A planet covered in oceans of liquid crystal that reflected the suns in dazzling patterns. Islands floated above the water, held by forces Kai could not understand. Beings with translucent skin and shimmering fins moved gracefully between the floating lands, communicating with a series of musical tones that filled the air with beauty. This planet is called Solara, the queen explained. Its people have learned to live in perfect balance with their environment. Their technology does not harm the world, but enhances it. They understand that strength comes not only from power, but from harmony. Kai stepped onto the floating island, his feet barely making a sound on the glowing surface. The creatures approached him with curiosity, their eyes reflecting the light of the suns. At first, Kai felt awkward. How could he communicate with beings who had no words like humans? Yet, the queen's presence made everything feel safe. She guided him, showing him how gestures, emotions, and empathy could cross the barriers of language. You will find, she said, that understanding and compassion are as powerful as any weapon. Humans have these gifts even when they are small or untrained. It is your heart that will shape your path. Kai spent days on Solara learning from its people. He marveled at their inventions, simple yet elegant, their floating gardens that harvested sunlight, their energy that came from the motion of water rather than machines. He realized that human curiosity could fit anywhere. On Earth, humans had struggled with pollution, war, and limited resources. Here, intelligence combined with patience created wonders beyond imagination. Kai felt pride in his species and hope for what it could achieve across the stars. But not all worlds were peaceful. After Solara, the queen took him to a planet called Zarian. Its surface was covered in jagged mountains and dark forests. Fires burned in some regions, and strange creatures moved quickly, hunting for survival. Zarian had been scarred by conflict, and its inhabitants had learned to rely on cunning and resilience to survive. Kai saw the hardships firsthand. Villages had been abandoned, machines destroyed, and resources depleted. Yet, even in this harsh environment, life persisted. The queen guided him to a community hidden deep in the forest. The beings there were wary, but intelligent. Using traps and clever designs to protect their homes, you will see, Kai, the queen said. The universe is not always kind. Strength alone does not survive. It is intelligence, courage, and cooperation that endure. Humans may be small, but your species carries the potential for all 3. Kai spent time with the Zarian beings, learning their strategies for survival. He discovered that humans, even in ordinary life on Earth, had faced similar struggles. In wars, in natural disasters, and in daily challenges, humans had survived by adapting, learning, and cooperating. He began to see that even the smallest human ingenuity could have an impact on the universe. One evening, as the suns of Zarian set in a fiery glow, a signal arrived from the edge of the system. A fleet of unknown ships had entered, moving aggressively toward the planet. The queen's expression became serious. Kai, this will be your first test in danger. These beings seek to conquer, not to learn. You will see that bravery is tested when fear is real. Are you ready? Kai's pulse quickened. He had watched battles and stories and simulations on Earth, but now he faced something real. Yet he also remembered what the queen had said. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. He nodded, gripping her hand for reassurance. The fleet approached. Ships dark and sharp against the light of Zarian suns. They began to fire at the planet, breaking structures and causing chaos. The Zarian beings fought back, but their defenses were small compared to the intruders. Kai saw panic, but he also saw determination. He realized that humans had faced such situations before. Ordinary people had acted in extraordinary ways during crises. He could do the same here. The queen turned to him. Kai, your mind is as important as my power. Humans can strategize, predict, and adapt in ways others cannot. Your intelligence will guide this defense. Kai's heart pounded, but he thought clearly. He studied the fleet's patterns, noting their weak points and the movements of the planet's defenders. Using signals and instructions, he coordinated small groups of Zarian beings to defend strategic positions. They listened, inspired by his confidence, and acted with precision. The battle raged, but Kai felt a new kind of strength. It was not in his muscles, but in his mind and heart. Humanity's lessons of resilience, courage, and cooperation had prepared him for this moment. He guided the defenders to counterattack, and slowly, the invading fleet began to retreat. The queen watched him, pride shining in her eyes. Kai, you see now? Courage and intelligence are a combination that can overcome even overwhelming odds. Humanity has the ability to shine in any corner of the universe. When the battle ended, Kai walked among the survivors, helping them rebuild and offering comfort. The Zarian beings looked at him with respect, recognizing the small but powerful presence of a human who had helped them survive. Kai realized that even one human, guided by heart and mind, could make a difference in the cosmos. The journey continued. The queen took him to planets of ice, deserts, floating cities, and oceans deep enough to hide entire civilizations. Each world offered new lessons: patience, innovation, resilience, and courage. Kai learned that the universe was not simply a place of beauty or danger, it was a mirror of life itself. Strength alone was not enough. Compassion, intelligence, and bravery were the true powers that shaped the stars. During their travels, Kai began to notice something remarkable. Creatures of all kinds, even those from distant, unfamiliar civilizations, seemed to recognize the human heart when it was pure. His actions, guided by the lessons of Earth, inspired trust and cooperation across the galaxies. Kai understood that humanity's greatest power was not its technology or strength, but its heart, its curiosity, and its ability to choose wisely. One night, as their ship floated above a planet with glowing forests, Kai sat with the alien queen. The stars stretched infinitely, and the hum of the ship was the only sound. "Why me?" he asked quietly. "Why did you return for me? Why not someone else?" The queen looked at him, her eyes reflecting galaxies. "Because you understand, Kai, even as a human, you carry something rare: curiosity, courage, and the willingness to learn. The universe waits for those who choose to step forward. You once hesitated, but now you have chosen. That choice has meaning beyond your world." Kai nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, but the universe had shown him that even one human could become extraordinary. He realized that humanity's true legacy was not just survival, it was the ability to inspire, to learn, and to grow. The journey through the stars continued, and Kai felt a mix of excitement and humility. The universe was infinite, and he had only begun to understand it. Every planet, every civilization, every challenge taught him something new. He knew that danger would come again, but he also knew that humanity's heart, combined with intelligence and courage, could meet any challenge. Kai's mind was alive with wonder. He saw civilizations where music built cities, forests that moved to protect themselves, and creatures that communicated through thought alone. He realized that the universe was full of possibilities, each one waiting for someone brave enough to reach it. Humans, small and fragile on Earth, could leave a mark far beyond their home. As he looked out at the stars, Kai understood something profound. His journey was not only about adventure, it was about proving that humanity could shine among the stars. It's not through force or domination, but through courage, intelligence, and heart. He felt pride in his species, hope for its future, and determination to continue learning. The alien queen guided the ship onward. Kai held her hand, feeling strength and trust in the bond they shared. He knew that every challenge ahead would test him, but he also knew that he was ready. The universe was vast, but humanity's heart was limitless. Kai had chosen to step forward, and that choice would shape not only his destiny, but the destiny of every world he touched. And so, Kai sailed through the stars, a human among civilizations of unimaginable wonder, learning, growing, and discovering that courage and heart were the true powers of the universe. Kai had grown more confident with every journey through the stars. He had learned from civilizations of light and shadow, from beings of ice and fire, and from creatures whose intelligence rivaled any human. Yet, the universe was vast, and Kai began to realize that not all beings shared the desire for peace and learning. Danger could appear without warning. Courage alone would not always be enough. The alien queen guided their ship toward a sector of space that shimmered with tension. Massive fleets moved in patterns Kai had never seen, their designs sharp and threatening. Sensors on the queen's ship detected energy signatures that pulsed with aggression. Kai felt a shiver of unease. This was the first time he saw the universe not only as a place of beauty and wonder, but as a realm of real danger. The queen's voice broke the silence. Kai, you must understand that even the most peaceful civilizations can face enemies. These beings, called the Varkari, are driven by envy and a desire for control. They believe that knowledge and power belong only to those who take it. They do not understand the value of cooperation or compassion. Kai looked at the fleet through the ship's viewing screen. The Varkari ships were enormous, jagged and black, moving with precision and purpose. Kai realized that unlike the civilizations he had seen, these beings thrived on conquest. They did not create, they destroyed. Yet, even as fear crept in, he remembered the lessons he had learned on Zerion and Solara. Courage was not the absence of fear, it was acting despite it. Humanity had survived disasters on Earth, small, yet determined. Perhaps the same spirit could guide him here. The queen turned to him, her eyes glowing faintly. Kai, you will play a role in this battle. Humanity's strength is not only in physical might, your creativity, intuition, and ability to adapt will be valuable. Are you ready? Kai nodded. He felt a surge of responsibility. He was no longer a boy from Elden Creek. He was a human among civilizations, capable of influencing the course of events across galaxies. His heart and mind would guide not only himself, but also the creatures who depended on his decisions. The Varkari fleet approached a peaceful planet that had not prepared for war. Cities floated above molten rivers, and the inhabitants were skilled in art and science, not combat. Kai saw the fear in their eyes and felt a deep urge to help. We must protect them, he said. The queen nodded, her presence calm but commanding. Kai began to analyze the fleet's movements. The ships were fast and powerful, but he noticed patterns. They had blind spots when they turned sharply and relied heavily on direct attacks rather than strategy. Kai realized that strategy and teamwork could outweigh brute force. He instructed the planet's defenders, combining their technology with his knowledge of human tactics. Small squads were positioned to exploit weaknesses. While decoys distracted the fleet, as the battle began, Kai felt a surge of adrenaline. Explosions lit the skies of the planet, and energy beams cut through the atmosphere. Yet, the planet's inhabitants, inspired by Kai's guidance, moved with precision. They fought not out of fear, but with intelligence and courage. Kai saw the value of humanity's lessons reflected in every maneuver. The queen moved gracefully, her ship shielding the defenders and deflecting attacks. Kai observed and learned, noticing how her actions influenced the enemy fleet's behavior. He realized that even a single human mind, combined with insight and quick thinking, could enhance the strength of a civilization. Humanity's true power lay not in weapons, but in problem-solving, strategy, and courage under pressure. The battle intensified. The Varkari unleashed a massive energy wave, aiming to destroy the planet's floating cities. Kai acted quickly, directing defenders to activate shields and move critical structures out of harm's way. The queen joined him, coordinating with Kai in perfect harmony. Together, human intuition and alien power created a combination the Varkari had not anticipated. Kai's mind raced. He suggested a maneuver to trap the fleet between magnetic fields generated by the planet's energy cores. It was risky, but it could force the Varkari to retreat without destroying the planet. The queen looked at him, her expression showing trust. "Do it," she said. Kai gave the orders, and the inhabitants worked with him, following his guidance. The plan succeeded. The Varkari ships became entangled in the magnetic fields, unable to maneuver effectively. The Queen struck precise blows, forcing the fleet to retreat. The planet was saved, and Kai felt a mix of relief and pride. He had faced real danger, guided by lessons from his species, and had influenced the outcome of a battle across the stars. The planet's inhabitants celebrated, their voices singing in harmony with the energy of their world. Kai walked among them, feeling the impact of his actions. A human, small and fragile by physical standards, it helped save a civilization through intelligence, courage, and cooperation. He realized that the universe was not only about survival, but about the choices that shaped outcomes. Humanity had the power to make those choices. The Queen turned to him, her eyes reflecting stars. Kai, you have begun to understand. Humans are small, but their courage, intelligence, and heart make them powerful. Even in the vastness of the universe, a single human can make a difference. Kai nodded, feeling a sense of responsibility heavier than he had ever imagined. He knew that future challenges would be greater, yet he also knew that humanity's lessons would guide him. Courage, compassion, and strategy were tools as strong as any weapon. Their journey continued. The Queen guided him to civilizations under threat, planets recovering from natural disasters, and worlds filled with extraordinary beauty. Each stop tested Kai in new ways. He learned to negotiate between species with conflicting interests, to solve complex problems using logic and creativity, and to inspire beings who had lost hope. Kai began to see a pattern. The universe was not only a place of danger or beauty, it was a reflection of life itself. Challenges existed to teach, to test, and to reveal strength. And humanity, small and fragile on Earth, had qualities that could endure across the stars: courage, heart, and intelligence. One evening, as their ship moved between twin suns, Kai reflected on what he had learned. Fear had been present in every challenge, yet he had acted despite it. Humanity's lessons were clear. Survival depended not only on strength, but on cooperation, ingenuity, and determination. He felt a growing pride in his species. Small as humans were, they could influence worlds, inspire civilizations, and shape outcomes in ways that even the most advanced beings might underestimate. The Queen looked at him, her gaze filled with approval. Kai, your journey is far from over. Greater threats will come, and you will need to make decisions that test your courage and mind. But remember this: humanity has the ability to shine, even in the darkest corners of the universe. Your choices will guide not only yourself, but others as well. Kai felt a mix of excitement and determination. He had faced danger and learned the importance of human qualities in a universe filled with uncertainty. He realized that home was not just a planet, but a place where courage and heart could flourish. Humanity had prepared him in ways he could not have imagined. As the ship traveled further into space, Kai looked out at the stars. He understood that the universe was full of wonder, danger, and opportunity. Every civilization, every challenge, and every choice would test him, yet he felt ready. Humanity's heart and mind were his guide, and the alien queen's trust gave him confidence. Beyond measure, Kai had become more than a boy from Elden Creek. He was a human among stars, a traveler and learner ready to face threats that no single species could withstand alone. Courage, intelligence, and heart were the true strengths that would carry him forward. And in the presence of the alien queen, Kai knew that together they could face any challenge the universe might throw at them. The journey continued, and Kai felt a thrill he had never known. The universe was vast, and danger was real, yet he no longer feared. He understood that humanity, small and fragile on one world, could shine brilliantly among the stars. Every choice, every act of courage, every lesson learned would matter, and Kai was ready to meet it all. Kai had traveled through countless star systems, seen civilizations flourish, and faced dangers he had never imagined. Each challenge had tested his courage, intelligence, and heart. He had learned that humanity's strength was not in its size or power, but in its choices, its curiosity, and its determination to act with integrity. Yet, as the alien queen guided their ship through the endless expanse of space, Kai began to wonder what home truly meant. The queen noticed his thoughtful expression. "Kai, you think of home," she said softly. "Tell me, what do you feel?" Kai hesitated, gazing at the stars. "I think of Earth," he said finally. "The people I love, the rivers, the trees, the sky at sunrise. But I also think of everything I have seen. I feel part of something bigger now." The queen nodded. "Home is not a single place. It is where the heart and mind find meaning. You have carried Earth in your heart, but you have discovered the universe. Both are home in different ways." Kai smiled. The idea felt right. Earth would always be his beginning, but the universe had become a vast home of possibilities. He had learned that being human meant more than survival. It meant connection, courage, and the ability to inspire others. Their ship entered a peaceful system where stars glowed gently and planets shimmered in calm light. The queen brought Kai to a planet covered in forests of silver-leaved trees and lakes that mirrored the skies. The air was warm, and creatures of many shapes and sizes moved freely, unafraid. Kai felt a deep sense of peace. "This is Navara," the queen said. "It is a sanctuary for those who seek knowledge, harmony, and understanding. Many civilizations visit to learn and share. Here you can see how hearts and minds shape worlds without fear or conflict." Kai stepped onto the planet, feeling the soft ground beneath his feet. He walked among the creatures, observing their behaviors, their interactions, and their joy. He realized that even the smallest choices could influence life around him. A gentle act of kindness could create ripples of change, just as human actions had impacted the universe in ways he had begun to understand. The queen guided him to a library unlike any he had seen. It was a building of light and energy, filled with knowledge from thousands of worlds. Holographic images floated in the air, displaying histories, discoveries, and ideas. Kai's eyes widened. Every civilization, every life form, had contributed something unique to the universe. Humanity's lessons, small though they seemed on Earth, had also become part of this vast tapestry. "You see, Kai," the queen said, "every choice matters. Every action, guided by heart and mind, leaves a mark. Humans, even from one small planet, have the power to inspire and shape the future." Kai explored the library, absorbing knowledge with wonder. He saw examples of civilizations overcoming adversity, using intelligence and compassion to solve problems, just as humans had done on Earth. He realized that the universe was full of opportunities to learn, grow, and help others. Humanity's potential was not limited by size or technology, but by imagination, courage, and choice. As Kai explored, a signal reached the Queen's ship. It was a call for help from a distant system under threat. A rogue fleet, larger and more organized than any he had seen, moved toward peaceful planets. Kai felt the familiar surge of responsibility. He had faced danger before, but this time the stakes were even higher. The lives of countless beings depended on his decisions and actions. The Queen turned to him. "Kai, this is your moment. Your courage, your humanity, and your intelligence will be tested. Are you ready to act?" Kai nodded firmly. He had learned that fear was natural, but action required trust in oneself and in others. Humanity's lessons had prepared him for this moment. Strategy, teamwork, and heart could overcome even the greatest threats. The fleet approached, dark ships moving like shadows against the stars. Kai quickly analyzed their formations and weaknesses. He devised a plan, combining his understanding of human tactics with the Queen's power and the resources of nearby civilizations. Small groups of defenders were positioned strategically, while decoys lured the fleet into traps. Kai communicated with leaders across planets, sharing instructions that leveraged intelligence, courage, and unity. The battle began. Explosions lit the skies of multiple planets, and energy beams cut through the void. Yet the defenders, inspired by Kai's guidance, moved with precision and determination. He saw that the spirit of humanity, small yet powerful, could influence even the largest conflicts. Kai directed actions calmly, adjusting strategies in real time, and working with the Queen in perfect harmony. The fleet was strong, but Kai's plan was stronger. The defenders, guided by his decisions, exploited weaknesses in the enemy formation. Ships that seemed invincible became trapped, and the rogue fleet struggled to maintain coordination. Kai realized that intelligence, courage, and cooperation were as formidable as any weapon. The Queen struck with precision, her power protecting allies and disrupting the enemy's attacks. Kai observed carefully, learning how to combine strategy, heart, and action in ways that amplified their effectiveness. The rogue fleet began to retreat, unable to match the unity and intelligence of the defenders. When the battle ended, Kai walked among the survivors, helping them rebuild and offering guidance. He saw gratitude in their eyes, respect for a human who had influenced events across the stars. Kai understood that the smallest being, with courage and heart, could leave a lasting impact on the universe. The Queen approached him, her expression soft yet commanding. Kai, you have seen the power of humanity. Your courage and intelligence have guided many to safety. You have proven that humans, though small, can shine brightly among the stars. Kai smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. He thought of Earth, of the rivers, the forests, the people he loved. He realized that leaving his home had not meant abandoning it. Humanity's lessons had traveled with him, shaping his decisions, and inspiring civilizations across galaxies. As they traveled further, Kai reflected on what home truly meant. Earth was his beginning, a place of roots and memories. The universe had become a home of learning, adventure, and growth. And the Queen had shown him that home was not a single place, it was where courage, heart, and mind found meaning. One day, as they drifted near a planet with oceans of sapphire and skies of green, Kai asked the Queen a question that had been on his mind for a long time. Queen, will I ever return to Earth? The Queen's eyes glowed warmly. Kai, you can return whenever you choose. But remember, home is not only where you began. Home is where you learn, grow, and act with heart. Earth will always be a part of you, just as the universe is now. You carry both within yourself. Kai nodded. He understood now that being human meant carrying one's home in heart and mind. The universe had tested him, taught him, and shown him wonders beyond imagination. And humanity, though small on one planet, had left its mark across the stars. As they moved toward new worlds, Kai felt excitement and determination. He had faced dangers, helped civilizations, and learned the true power of courage, intelligence, and heart. The universe was infinite. Yet humanity's lessons were as powerful as any force in existence. The Queen looked at him, her voice gentle. Kai, our journey continues. Together, we will explore, learn, and protect. Your humanity is a gift that will shape the future of countless worlds. Remember, home is not a single place. It is a journey guided by heart and mind.
Nice.
He had become more than the boy from Elden Creek. He was a human among the stars, a traveler, a protector, and a learner. He understood that courage and intelligence, combined with compassion, could leave a lasting mark. Earth was his beginning, the universe his classroom, and the choices he made would define not only his destiny, but the destiny of those he touched. As the ship sailed past glittering galaxies and planets of impossible beauty, Kai felt a sense of peace. He had found a home beyond home, a place where humanity could shine in ways never imagined. The Queen's presence reminded him that he was never alone, that guidance, trust, and collaboration were as vital as courage. Kai looked out at the stars, feeling the thrill of endless possibilities. Adventure awaited, challenges would come, but he knew that he was ready. Humanity had given him courage, curiosity, and heart. The universe had taught him strength, wisdom, and the value of connection. Together, they would continue the journey, exploring the cosmos and proving that even a human, small and fragile, could leave a brilliant mark among the stars. The alien Queen took his hand, her eyes reflecting countless galaxies. Then we go home, human, she said softly. Not a place, but a journey. And you will always carry both Earth and the universe within you. Kai nodded, feeling a deep warmth in his chest. He understood at last that home was not a single location, but a combination of courage, heart, knowledge, and adventure. Humanity's spirit, even from a small planet, could shine brightly in the universe. And now he was ready to continue, to learn more, to help others, and to explore worlds beyond imagination. Together, they moved forward into the endless stars, a partnership of trust, courage, and wonder. Kai felt the power of humanity within him, ready to face the unknown. And for the first time, he knew that wherever the journey led, he was truly home.